morning. It's a beautiful Tuesday filled with love. Arise, yes. The world is yours for the taking if only you could arise right now.
Yes, indeed. While not everybody is a morning person, there's some people who just hate mornings. You know, in fact, they don't boot till about 10 o'clock or 11. But we're here to make your mornings a little brighter.
That's right, of course. A nice word of inspiration from us is a perfect way to start your day every weekday. Now remember, having a great start sets the tone for the rest of the day. So that's why it's great.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. A great start is really, really important. You know, like they say, morning tells the day.
Yes, indeed it does.
So really, really important. Now, Valentine's Day is just a few days away. Just about three more days to Valentine's Day, and we're counting down already to this special day.
That's right. We have a couple of special things wrapped and lined up for you this week. All you need to do is keep tabs with us. My name is Mary Bashwa Alimi.
And I'm Yomi Okwe. We are streaming live right now, tvcentertainment.tv. And of course on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Oh yes, and you can also send in your comments using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. That's on social media, of course.
Now our app is also available for download. You can download it both on the iOS store and the Android App Store as well. And that app, ladies and gentlemen, lets you watch us from anywhere in the world.
That's a super dramatic Yomi talking as usual. Okay, so we just head straight to this.
You have to give them that flavor, that that morning flavor. Bring out a little bit.
Why do we bring in people for motivation when Yomi is here? Sometimes I do wonder.
In the spirit of love, something's going to be happening, Mary. In the spirit of love.
Yes,
Tell us about it. For our musical performance, the first one this morning is going to be from the amiable gospel music minister, Israel Strong.
Quiet. I will sing of his goodness from the mountaintop.
On nutrition today, Dr. Ifeyiwa will be joining us later to discuss the role of nutrition in children with developmental disorder.
Then for a second musical performance this morning, stick around for a gospel music sensation, Philadelphia Cass.
I've seen the best of times too.
And on parenting, we are going to be looking at self and social awareness with Chidiebere Njoku.
Now, this matter of headgear, it's a big matter. And it's really a part of Nigerian culture. It's what you see anywhere you go in the country. And that's why on DIY today, we're going to be learning how to tie trendy gilly headgears.
Finally, we are going to be joined by award-winning alternative soul singer, songwriter, and stylist, legendary Sunny.
The Mary Boku celebration everywhere.
Wow, talking about
I like
seasons.
today. Today's going to be a very musical day.
Yeah.
We have three performers, very, very good performers. And that's going to be happening today.
Tuesday always feels like that day that, you have a lot to do. You've been making preparations all through yesterday, and then Tuesday. So on Mondays, for some reason, there's not as much traffic as on Tuesdays in the evenings because everybody stays in the office late. And they're like, I have so much work, let me just stay and focus. Then on Tuesday, they get up and go.
So Titi happens to be wearing 5 red dresses this week.
Yes, she started yesterday.
Day 2, ladies and gentlemen. She got it right. Day 2.
Another red dress.
5-day red dress challenge.
It's a 5-day red dress challenge. Such sarcasm.
No, but I actually had to go. I was like, what have I done? I actually asked myself. And then I went into, our costume department, very elaborate costume department. Well done, costume department. And they were like, you know what, we support you. We're going to make this happen.
Oh, so they're making it happen for
Yeah,
you.
they're making it happen.
You should see the line. In fact, she has like 7 in case something goes wrong with 1 or 2.
I think we should start a trend.
Yeah,
to
please.
use the hashtag or something like that.
Are we Shango worshippers?
Wow.
I don't understand.
Mary.
But the truth is, on Friday, we are definitely going to see different shades of red.
Aha.
All over the place.
My brother, back when we used to do a lot of ushering stuff. So when you go for events on Valentine's Day, you would actually be scared.
As in,
Because the way people combine this white and red, you will have
Oh,
the fear
yeah.
of God. Like you will not be able to tell a priest from a layman.
Wow.
That's how bad it is.
Wow.
I
sometimes.
mean, like in traffic yesterday, I mean, they sell all manners of things. Heart-shaped roses. There's this rose, this flashing light rose.
yeah, of course.
That's coming out of something like this. Then
Yeah.
the guy was waving in the car.
Can you
You
remember
need it,
your
you need-
first Valentine gift though?
Oof, wow.
If we don't
know.
finish talking about it now, we will finish talking about it. on Coffee
I
Table.
think
Can
my
you remember?
first one was actually a handwritten note.
Oh,
You know, but it was written on a red cardboard, so it was like a poem and everything, and yeah.
sweet.
And then there were like teddy bears drawn on it.
What about you?
I don't recall.
You did most of the giving, I guess.
Yeah, so yeah, typically in Nigeria especially, women are always on the receiving side when it comes to
Yeah.
Well, not
Valentine's.
always.
Which
For
is
me,
because
mine
of
was
that
really
my bad
complicated.
experience. I've stopped doing it.
Yeah,
Remember, I
you said
mentioned my
so.
bad
Yeah.
experience.
You
Like,
said so.
I had like packaged a lovely men's gift, and the guy didn't pick up his phone. No, his phone was switched off, and I was like,
So why don't you just give it to somebody else?
So I ended up giving it to another friend, but
You could have sent it to your
I gave it to
dad.
another friend, but it was actually just a platonic friend.
What is she sending it to her dad for?
Yes,
I don't
now
understand.
you can just, or you send it to your mom to give it to your dad.
That
kind of stuff.
Not the way my
No?
mom and dad.
Okay, so for me, it was really complicated. So somebody I really used to like in secondary school, it was a year my junior, but I had a fast education, so he was like 4 years older than me.
Hey.
And I just always liked this guy. And next thing, he just brought chocolates, a rose, and a handwritten card. And says, my school father said I should give it to you.
Oh my
I'm not kidding.
goodness.
Like,
Was that a lie or was
it wasn't joking.
It wasn't him.
So apparently his school dad liked
wow.
me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Weird.
but he was your junior now, so how is it going to work? Like, I
Uncle,
don't
he was
understand.
4 years older than me.
It was weird.
And I really liked him.
Yeah, it was just
Well,
weird.
it's still your junior though.
But
Like,
we've been talking love totems throughout the week, and of course on social media with the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC, you'll see what we're working on. But we have to rush over to the news now, Yomi.
yeah. Now we begin our news this morning from Addis Ababa, where President Muhammadu Buhari has given assurances that his government will secure the freedom of all children and other victims of abduction by terrorists in the country. Speaking yesterday in Addis Ababa, the president reassured Nigerians and the international community of his steadfast commitment to fighting insurgency. At a high-level dialogue tagged Stop the War on Children Affected by Armed Conflicts, the dividend of silencing the guns, President Buhari said, quote, let me categorically reassure you of the steadfast commitment of the government to ensure the freedom of all kidnapped children from the shackles of Boko Haram. We will not relent until every child, boy or girl, every Nigerian adult in custody of Boko Haram is freed, end quote. The president urged African countries and stakeholders on the continent to work fervently towards strengthening the protection of children from the 6 grave violations during armed conflict. He also used the occasion to outline some concrete measures taken by Nigeria towards tackling the root causes of child soldiers and the misfortune of out-of-school children. And the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation says the daily average natural gas supply to gas-powered plants increased by 16.5% to 645 million standard cubic feet per day, an equivalent to generate 2,178 megawatts of electricity in November 2019. Comparatively, the October 2019 gas supply to power averaged 553 million standard cubic feet per day, which could generate over 2,000 megawatts of electricity. Acting Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division of NNPC, Samson Makoji, disclosed this in a statement over the weekend, saying the figure was extracted from the 53rd edition of the NNPC Monthly Financial and Operations Report. The financial report also showed that November 2018 to November 2019 crude oil and gas transactions indicated that crude oil and gas worth $5.4 billion was exported. The NNPC report said the corporation suffered 94% increase in the cases of pipeline vandalism in November last year. Now, an autopsy has been conducted on the corpse of an auto mechanic who allegedly died as a result of torture by the police in Port Harcourt. This comes as the Rivers State Police Command faces public criticism for the act involving 4 other young men. Uche Okoro has been following the story and now reports.
When news of the death of Chima Ikunado was made public, the police reacted swiftly, attributing the tragedy to high blood sugar in the victim. The defense from the police immediately attracted widespread condemnation from an angry public who had no way of verifying the police claims. Injuries on the bodies of Chima's cellmates as well as their own testimonies also gave flesh to the allegations of torture. The mainstream and social media campaign has now led to this point, an autopsy to verify the actual cause of death. Pathologists from both parties, family members, civil society, and several other interest groups supervised the process. However, rather than satisfy the public, the move seems to have sparked a fresh outcry for justice.
For us, the autopsy was even no more necessary because the level of injuries on Chima is enough to tell us who killed Chima. For us, this is not just mere torture. The police, specifically the ICRA squad, butchered Chima to death. The whole of his hands were all peeled off. You can see his bones, his back.
They also described earlier statement from the police on the cause of Chima's death as hasty and a cover-up.
The story that there was autopsy before now are all lies. In fact, we asked the 2 medical doctors, of course, civil society, the family, and other interest group brought in our own pathologist, and of course the pathology from the side of the police. The both of them confirmed that there was no autopsy, on Chima before today.
12 persons entered the mortuary at 12:23 p.m. for commencement of the autopsy, and that process took more than 4 hours. For now, there is no indication as to when results of that examination would be made public, but one thing is certain, and that's the fact that this has taken sympathizers one step closer in the search for justice for Chima. Uche Okoro, TVC News, Port Harcourt.
Now, China reported 108 new coronavirus deaths on Monday, and health authorities say it is the highest daily toll since the outbreak began late last year. That figure pushed the total death toll in mainland China to 1,016. Health officials say nearly 4,000 infected patients in mainland China have been successfully cured and discharged from hospital. Some 2,400 new cases were confirmed on Monday, bringing the total to over 42,000 in China, while more than 43,000 people are infected worldwide. China has also removed several senior officials over the handling of the coronavirus outbreak. The party secretary for the Hubei Health Commission and the head of the commission were among those who lost their jobs. Well, that's it on the news update for this hour. Let's take a look at what the weather will be like today, and after that, a quick break. Today is Tuesday, February 11, and we're starting with the Punch headlines this morning.
And the headlines go like this. It says 87% Nigeria's poverty rate in North, according to the World Bank. Article blames insecurity, lack of education for endemic poverty. Northern youth say leaders grabbing power without development. Right beside the masthead there, it says federal government raises panel for Mambila power project execution. Secondus, PDP exco in court over alleged contempt. Top of the page there, Nigeria earned 1.17 trillion from VAT in 2019, according to CBN. And on community policing, IG meets Southeast governors Wednesday. Police begin screening. I'll wrap it with this one. It says here, Boko Haram kills 30 travelers as military closes Maiduguri Bridge. That's what we have on the cover of the Punch.
The Vanguard leads with a headline, 30 killed, 18 vehicles, houses burnt in fresh Boko Haram attack. Wow. Only 10, not 30 killed, theater commander, Operation Lafia Dole says. And Governor Zulum asks military to move checkpoint. And Buhari, I'll continue to frustrate Boko Haram. And a few other riders there. Ex-EFCC boss Farida Waziri sacked in national interest, former President Jonathan says. And about 1.4 million candidates registered for UTME direct entry in 3 weeks. Wow. And up here, rumble in Army over pay disparity with Navy and Air Force. Cracks in NEF as TAV distances board from verdict on federal government. Amotekun bill becomes law on Valentine's Day. And ECOWAS challenges Nigeria's border closure, sets up committee. And that's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard.
We have The Guardian next. It says here, Boko Haram kills over 10, destroys 18 vehicles, seizes 3 buses with passengers. Buhari pledges to rescue all abducted kids. The story starts there on the cover and wraps up on page 6. The photo story there, very, very troubling, during the attacks in Borno on Sunday night. EFCC presses fresh charges against Adoke over Malibu oil deal. Reps decry alleged fund concealment, non-remittance of by PPPRA. Unaccessed UBEC grants to states hit 73 billion naira. Uproar as police releases Chima's tortured body for autopsy. And I'll wrap with this one at the bottom. It says Southwest governors to sign Amotekun bill into law on February 14th. That's what we have on the cover of The Guardian.
Yeah, let's check out the Daily Sun. Boko Haram hits hard. 30 killed, scores injured, and women kidnapped. And military confirms 10 dead. Attacks, cowardly, Buhari says. And ECOWAS probes Nigeria's border closure. All kidnapped children will be freed, Buhari vows. And down here, China gives Nigeria tips on coronavirus treatment. Malibu oil scam, ex-AGF Adoke arraigned, granted bail. And finally, fireworks over burial of Kanu's parents. And that's what we have on the cover of the Daily Sun.
We have the Nation newspaper here as well. It says Southwest governors to sign Amotekun bill Friday. Houses of Assembly begin legislative work. Fayemi says outfit to protect all residents. And the story starts there and continues on page 7. Moving on here, it says 441 trillion naira e-payments made in 90 billion deals. The story, honestly, the number there is so large, I can't even read it out myself. But the story continues on page 7. It says 30 burnt to death by Boko Haram in Borno attack. At the top here, Lawan, others mourn as senator dies at 75. Buhari raises hope for Leah Sharibu's release. War on Boko Haram on. And finally, it says here, Adoke gets 50 million naira bail after rearrangement. That's what we have on the cover of The Nation.
Yeah, let's squeeze in this day with the headline, Buhari condemns attack as Boko Haram kills 30 in Borno. And ASU opens talks with federal government over 2009 pact, IPPIS. And finally, on the cover of this day, ECOWAS raises committee on closure of Nigeria's land borders. Nigeria reiterates objection to unilateral adoption of ECO currency. And that's what we have on the cover of this day.
So those are the headlines we have on the covers of the newspapers this morning. And that's all we have time for. We'll be back after this quick break with the traffic update. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Now we are about to give tips on the best route for you this morning to get to your destination faster. Now, as always, we encourage that you help other road users by dropping relevant traffic situation reports on all our social media pages using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria. This morning we'll be starting our trip from Ojodubega all the way to CMS Central Park. Now, from what I'm seeing here, if you're coming from Ogunusi Road, it should take you approximately 1 hour and 9 minutes. So I think for 6:33 a.m., I think it's not that bad. So if you're home and you want to get out, you should head out now. So from Ogunusi Road, all the way through that to connect to the expressway. That's the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, but facing Third Mainland Bridge, of course, it's free. But now, just shortly after you climb the express, where we have the BRT bus stop, very popular, the traffic begins to pick up from there, and it gets better. It gets free when you get towards the Fat Bames petrol station. Now, from there on, it's free flowing, thankfully. So if you're around that axis, you might want to head out. But now, to get better traffic, to get a better flowing route for yourself, you might want to head off at the MKO Abiola Gardens route. So you might want to take that, because from what I'm seeing, it's free flowing. So if you're even coming from Agidingbi axis, you could go through that route, connect to the Ikeja shopping mall area, all the way through to, from where I'm seeing here, all the way through into the Ikeja Central Mosque. Now, at about that side, the traffic begins to build up. Now, through the roundabout, connecting back to somewhere around where we have the popular Olowu Street, that's like in the heart of Ikeja. But thankfully, it eases up. Now, on Mobolaji Bank, Anthony Way, at this time, is free flowing. We all know how the traffic can be thick at that point. But at Lagos Country Club, there's slight traffic at that point. But just after it, it's free flowing. But now, when you get to where you're getting closer to the Maryland bus stop, the traffic begins to pick up. So if you're around that route, just exercise a little patience, because just shortly after the Maryland bus stop is free flowing, slight pockets of traffic at Maryland Mall, free flowing through Obani Koro. When you get to Shomolu axis, there's thick traffic. I don't know what's happening at that point, but you know, we have the motor transportation system around that axis, so it's usually really thick at this point, but it shows that there's back-to-back traffic. So if you're on that axis, you might want to just exercise a little patience, but when you get towards Yaba, it gets better through Adekunle. But shortly after Adekunle, now we have the back-to-back traffic. Usually at this point, I usually advise you come off and take an Okada or a Keke, but we know how it is, so you might just want to have to exercise patience till you get to your destination. So let's see if Titi, Yomi, and Mary, our official, have any updates for
Hi, thanks so much. Just a few updates here. I know that you're on the same handle as well.
I'm on the same
so let me
handle.
take the first few, and then
still talking on
and
what,
then you
and
take.
I'll just beat you guys
I've
to
got
it now.
My official.
I've got Maryland en route Sheraton. Currently good to go. Well, that was maybe like 15 minutes ago. So if you're going out, hurry out quickly. And then high influx currently from Admiralty in Lekki Toll Plaza. That's usual, because there's still quite a number of people that don't have the thing yet, so the tag.
Yeah.
And finally, from my end, I'm going to hand over to TT now. Free movements currently immediately after Barracks to Maza along Badagry Expressway. So this was about 10 minutes ago. Yes. So yeah.
Now, there's a complaint here for someone. It's been retweeted by Lagos Traffic. It says here, you can clearly note that there is a bottleneck at the roundabout at Ikponri. So apparently it's causing 3 hours of traffic from CMS to Costain.
Wow.
And CMS to Costain should not be more than
20 minutes.
5 to 10 minutes.
5 to 10 minutes
without
actually.
traffic.
Yeah.
And so there's a roundabout there, and so this complaint is, going out to someone who might be able to help. That particular Ikponri roundabout Costain roundabout seems to be causing a lot of traffic. So hopefully someone will hear that cry. It says a lone accident involving a truck at Ketu bus stop inward Ojota is causing heavy traffic on Ikorodu Road. And that particular place has already has a lot of traffic.
Yeah, because of the construction.
Usually.
Yeah.
So it seems like it might be a bit worse right now. That was as at, about 5:45. Yeah.
Thank you guys for giving me a break today. I know Tokwe has more for us right now.
Okay, thank you very much, my officials. Okay, so quickly, I'm just going to try something new, a new route for people traveling from Festac Town to CMS Central Park. Now, this should take you approximately 48 minutes. We know how the traffic can be thick at that point, but I think this is fair. So starting off from Road 22, which has a very popular bus stop, as I see here. Now, we have free-flowing traffic, thankfully, all the way through Road 22 that connects to 2nd Avenue. Now, 2nd Avenue is free at this point, so if you're anywhere close there and if you think this is a better route for you, you might want to take that. Now, all through 2nd Avenue, it's free-flowing, so you connect to 1st Avenue. Now, just the turn that links you into 1st Avenue, there's a slight traffic there. Don't know what's causing it, but I can see that there's a transport company there at that junction, so that might be causing the traffic there. Now, on 1st Avenue, we have free-flowing connecting to the Festac Link Bridge, free-flowing, thankfully. So if you're in Festac now, you might want to head out just immediately so you don't experience any traffic. Now, all through Festac Access Road is free-flowing to the RCCG that is very popular at the connecting streets and through Apple Junction. That Apple Junction that usually has a lot of traffic, guys, is free at this point. So all the way through, I can see free flowing, but there's pockets of traffic here and there, and we know how it is in the morning, so I'm sure you'll get to your destination in good time. Just exercise a little patience, don't fight with anybody, and I'm sure you'll have a great day. Let me go join my people, and let's know what's happening up and about in Lagos this morning.
Okay, so before we launch into today's conversation, there was one crazy traffic this morning around Dokwemu axis. I'm talking about before 5 a.m. and from what I can see on the map, the traffic is still that bad. Wow. So what most vehicles were doing was turning back to go and take the bridge. So more like taking one way to go and take the bridge to connect to Agege. As at now, Agege is still 30 minutes faster to get to Ikeja side than just even taking Iyano Dokwemu. So the standstill traffic is still happening.
Goodness.
So if you're around that area, if you're just about to get to the Dokwemu Bridge, consider going over the bridge instead of joining the Ikeja long traffic.
That's if you're coming from Shasha or Egbeda.
Yes, if you're coming from Egbeda, even if you're coming from Iyanokwaja. In fact, if you're coming from Iyanokwaja, it's best to just make a detour straight through Agege instead. That's it on traffic. So let's just move on to something else.
If you've been through that traffic, you will know the shortcut.
Especially when it stands still.
How do you know this particular place?
Well, I've personally biked through there. I biked through that area for like 2 years.
Oh yeah.
To escape that traffic. Yeah.
And now that bikes are
my
being
family
banned,
house,
the
is
traffic
not too
is
far
on
from
another
there.
Another level, yeah.
It was terrible. I had one guy that used to wait for me at Egbeda bus stop.
Wow.
The guy was my guy.
At what
Was
time?
my guy.
What time?
Seriously.
She's talking about Okada.
Yes, now.
Oh, Okada.
Okada now.
I don't know.
Then I'll now
At
get to
6:41
Ikeja,
here.
then I'll now come down, dust myself up, now enter cab.
Do you used to pay him?
Of
Do you used to pay?
course,
Are you sure you're
now.
not saying doing my customer, my customer?
So you guys, I like it when you guys, get in all this arguments. It's always very cute.
What are you feeling like?
Anyway, so the Oscars took place on Sunday.
Yes.
And a few surprises, which turned out to be very nice. Eminem came out and did a performance of a song that he won an Oscar for 13 years ago, which I thought was really cool. And then a bunch of winners emerged in different categories. Some were exciting and expected, some
Were not
a
so
bit unexpected.
expected.
So yesterday we talked about the 4
Parasites.
big categories, which
Should we say the Asian contingent?
they
just came and
and
swiped
they looked like they were ready to win because there were quite a number of them that were there. But apart from that, we didn't talk about Brad Pitt, who finally
Picked up an Oscar.
picked up an Oscar for
No, he's actually picked up an Oscar for, I believe, directorial role.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
It wasn't
but
for
not as an actor.
not
this is his first.
and I read an article one time just was last week before the Oscar, before he won the Oscar, and they said that being Brad Pitt is a blessing and a curse because people think that he's too handsome to win an Oscar. Like,
But he
so when he
doesn't
comes on the
actually-
screen, everybody's already too blown away by him being so handsome, so that they won't notice.
He's even more handsome.
I beg. Okay. I mean,
So people don't pay attention to his acting because he's a handsome guy.
He was.
So which is
But
ridiculous because I mean.
But get this, he got an Oscar for acting as an actor that washed out.
yes,
Exactly.
that's the weird
So
part.
that
He
is
was even a
really-
supporting act. in the
Exactly.
movie.
So
DiCaprio
an
was the
actor
lead.
that basically washed out
Yeah.
in the movie was what got him his Oscar. It's so ironic.
It's like when Denzel won the Oscar after so many tries and all of that. He did Malcolm X, they didn't give him. He did Hurricane, they didn't, you know. So it was almost like. So when eventually they gave him the Oscar, it was like,
Whatever.
you understand? Because they gave him for being a bad guy
Yeah.
in Training Day, and so he just got the Oscar. He held it in his hand. It was like, by comparison to Halle Berry, who was just crying
Yeah.
tears of joy or whatever that was. But yeah, so it was nice.
And yeah, if you all want to ignore, the AMVCA nomination list is up.
Yes, I actually was going to talk about it.
Yes.
I was going to talk about
Let's
it.
come home.
So I mentioned it last week. All I mentioned was that Reminisce was nominated.
I expected that.
But I found it really encouraging, you know,
okay.
because when it comes to musical artists in Nigeria, you never hear or think of them crossing over to the other side and actually making it.
Making a success of
You
it.
hear of a lot of people basically making fun of them in that capacity.
Yeah.
Someone else I would have thought could have got a nomination would have been Ill Bliss, because Ill Bliss really carried that role in King of Boys really well.
Yeah.
And of course, King of Boys got loads of nominations.
Yeah. But I think
Ramsey also picked
Yes.
some.
Yeah, I'm happy for him for
fantastic,
Best
some
Director. I think
nominations,
he should totally win. It was a great way to start his directing career. But Reminisce, I was happy for him. I think why they would take him over Iblis was the strength that Makanaki came with, and how you would feel Makanaki all through the film. But Iblis was not bad, but I think Reminisce was well deserved.
While the AMVCA was trending last weekend, wicked people, I used the hashtag wicked people, were going on about Reminisce category.
Yeah.
Apparently one of the categories, Ramsey Noah was also nominated. I think he's Best Supporting Actor or something.
Yes,
I can't
Best
remember.
Supporting.
And then someone just said, sorry, Reminisce.
Wow,
like,
really?
I'm telling you, I saw up to 6 tweets back to back going, sorry, Reminisce, so don't worry, better luck next time.
And you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Yeah.
Because one thing
Because
I
you
know
know
is
the name that name Makanaki
Yes,
became
stuck.
it
Yes.
stuck. You know,
Yeah.
it became something of a something that you would call a trend.
A trend, yeah.
On
Well, it's
social media,
anybody's
so.
win, though. It's
Yeah.
a thing of an icon. It's just like a Burna Boy and what's her name now? Angelique Kidjo thing. So it might be a Ramsey
vote
picking
if
it
you-
up.
if
You never
you're- if
know.
you're their
So,
fan.
Never know.
but Living in Bondage, 10 nominations. King of Boys, 6 nominations. Who's going to take it? We never know.
We shall see.
Find out. Vote for your favorite, guys.
Yeah.
I've got someone special joining us this morning. Her name is Anna Acha, the co-founder of this magazine, Malimbe. Very interesting magazine, full of lots of content. On a recent trip, I looked at it and it got my attention for about 2 hours before I started focusing on the movies. Usually I just go through to the movies directly. But thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
12 editions, 1 year later, here you are, and it's a success story. Tell us about that journey.
We're very proud. After the birthday shout-outs, we have to do our own birthday shout-out.
Exactly. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. You know that most magazines in Nigeria, their life is not very long, and sometimes they do like quarterly editions, things like that. Even the airlines that we partner with, the first time we were there, they were like, okay, we'll give you a try. But every month is very difficult.
It's tough.
So we were very happy to finally, February was our 12th edition. And now we start again from March with new energy and with new ideas for 2020.
That's absolutely amazing. I know that the magazine business is really tough in these parts. going to print, meeting your deadlines.
Yeah.
How do you do it? How do you ensure that you have all your content and all your contributors and all your photographs, everything in before the deadline, and then distribution to all the various
As
elements?
you're mentioning, the deadlines are the most difficult things. It's very difficult to keep up with it every single month. It takes us around 20 days to print, so you always have to be a lot in advance. But we have a very nice team, a very good team. We have a photographer that goes every month to a different destination in Nigeria. I've been learning about Josh, Suleja, Kano, Kaduna, different places that I'm not from here, so I didn't know, and it's very interesting.
It's interesting, I was talking about, you were talking earlier, and I was saying that, do you have people contribute or do you have people travel? And you say you actually have people who go to these different destinations and get the content from
It's very important because it's the only way of getting the real information. We're very proud of having 100 pages of original content that is fully Nigerian, so that Nigerians can feel identified with it.
Yeah.
So it's important to send the photographer to those places. He has a drone, so he takes pictures from the top, and it looks very nice.
It's really, really amazing. I mean, really excellent work. Like, I looked through it and I said to myself, wow, like, and the first thing that came to mind is how you guys are just able to meet your deadlines, But apart from being on the airlines and all of that, where else can I get the magazine? Can I buy it off the shelf?
Exactly. Now we're with 4 different airlines, Arik, Aero, Bristow, and Dana Air, and we're open to other airlines that we're discussing with. And apart from that, this year we signed 5 different agreements, so people can find the magazine at Grand Square supermarkets, Uida, Pataba, Unilag, and Robin Height.
Wow.
So anyone who wants to access to it, it's also on our website. You can download it on our website as well. But if you want the hard copy, you can go to any of these places.
That's really, really amazing. And, I'm just looking at the magazine now, once again, looking at the quality of the content and the quality of the writing as well. I don't know where you got all these writers from.
We have amazing writers.
Yeah, amazing writers. A lot of them write from the first person point of view, and they have, very descriptive power in everything that they do. And they just, get your attention throughout while you're reading.
We're very proud. We have collaborators like Sheyi Atta or Leye Adenle, writers who have many books published in, nationally and internationally, and we're very happy to have them as well in the magazine. That's something we're proud of.
And it looks like you guys have a lot of advertising as well, and revenue coming in.
We need to tell them to
You need to tell them to advertise more. All right, so this is the magazine in my hand. We've got a few editions
here as well. We have many for you guys to enjoy.
Malimbe magazine, in 12 editions. 12 editions. I just have one in my hand. I want everybody to see. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's it right there. With the CEO of Axis
Interviews
Bank.
with the CEOs of the best CEOs in Nigeria.
Malimbe magazine. Absolutely amazing. Well, I have this one with a couple of leading women.
People at Heineken. These are the top women at Heineken.
At Heineken. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the work that you're doing, and wish you all the best, despite all the challenges. And hopefully, the next 12 editions, you meet all your deadlines as well.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Anna, for joining us this morning. And so Malimbe Magazine, you can check it out online as well. And after this break, there's more on Wake Up Nigeria. So check it out. It's the second hour of your premium family entertainment show. And if you're just joining us, welcome to Wake Up Nigeria.
That's right. So welcome indeed. I can't believe 1 hour is all gone.
Yeah, pretty
Time
fast,
goes by.
but here we are.
In ancient Egypt, the triangle was seen as a symbol of intelligence and indicated the capacity for love.
Triangle.
And that's talking about totems.
Triangle. Stick an eye in there, and it's like,
But I'm beginning to suspect triangle, like the love triangle. Was there always someone involved?
I don't know, but it's also a sign for Freemasons, they say. But the triangle is also deals with love represented in the mother, father, and child union. love triangle.
Yeah, so that's the love
that,
triangle.
yeah.
Yes.
And it symbolizes a vessel in which love is poured out or carried. I like that.
How sweet.
The love of God is shed abroad
Yes.
in our hearts.
And that's why we have the Trinity
Poured
as
out,
well,
you know, yeah.
triangle. See? Oh,
Very nice, very
amazing.
nice. Yeah.
Well, we still have so much lined up just for you. We ask that you stay right there with us for the next 1 hour, 45 minutes. My name is Mary Bashua Alimi.
And I'm Yomi Okwe. What better time to find love than during this season of love? Now, the love of your life may just be around the corner. Not in your dreams, you know, like physical. So keep tabs with us on the show.
You never know.
You'll
Yomi's
probably,
right.
we're going to be giving you some information.
Yeah, so get online and stream with us live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Send in your comments across our social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria.
Now, we have an app available for download at both Android and iOS stores. This app allows you to watch us from absolutely anywhere in the world. I hope you've downloaded it. If you haven't, do so quickly.
Yeah, so guess who's back in the building this morning? We have Chef AY.
Yes,
AY
sir.
subs.
AY, what's up?
What's she saying? What's going on?
AY doing? What happened? I could
waiting
have
for the-
sworn
we're
I
waiting
saw
for the
AY
chef.
subs 2 minutes
We're waiting
ago.
for her, so we're preparing.
Yes, the dance is for her because
her.
you know when
She's
she
here.
gets here,
It's
you
gonna
know
be
it's
lit.
going to get,
I'm
it's
seeing
gonna
a
get
whole-
good in the kitchen. Oh dear me! All right, so
Look.
by the time she gets
Okay,
here,
while we're getting ready for AY to join
Let's
us,
just head straight.
straight to the highlights for
So she's
the
here.
rest of this morning.
Yeah.
she's finally here.
Okay.
Oh wow!
On nutrition today, Dr. Ifeyiwa will be joining us to discuss the role of nutrition in children with developmental disorder.
And then for a musical performance, stick around for gospel music sensation Philadelphia Cass.
I've seen the worst of times.
And on parenting, we are going to be looking at self and social awareness with Chidiebere Njoku.
Tying headgears is a big challenge for many women. And that's why on DIY today, we're going to be teaching you guys trendy gele headgear.
Finally, we are going to be joined by award-winning alternative soul singer, songwriter, and stylist, legendary Sunny.
Got tricked into believing you are the only one for me.
So, I don't understand. What were
Legendary
you guys doing in the kitchen?
Please, before
When
you
Chef AY is around, you must, as in really, you have to prepare because the
Please, I'm
spiciness of that
preparing
kitchen.
for Friday as well. Please, I'm clearly saying it. All these people here are married. Please buy me gifts. If you don't see, if I go to the TVC Connect DM, tell them that you want to be match made with me.
Wow.
Go and shoot your shots.
Wow.
If you don't want me, shall shoot your shot to somebody.
Okay, so,
So, guys, I'm wondering, this blind date
Date.
thing we are doing, why didn't we put Tokwe on it?
Am I blind?
You don't have to be blind. We can use blindfold for you.
Wow.
Well, Tokwe is technically not available. Technically.
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 But even me that they say I'm technical, I'm telling you that, whoa.
You need to take gifts before you finally sign the dotted line.
Yes,
Stop
let me
cover
take
your
gifts.
face. Come.
So for me, yes, if there are any gifts coming in, let them be very healthy. You know,
No,
like
Titi, we're
healthy
writing you
gifts.
letters.
No chocolate.
Handwritten
Letters,
letters.
that's what you
She
asked
said
for last
healthy.
week.
I
Titi
said
said she wants
healthy
handwritten letters. Yes, healthy
Yes.
letters.
No unhealthy things.
All right, we have to take the news now. And we begin from Addis Ababa, where President Muhammadu Buhari has given assurances that his government will secure the freedom of all children and other victims of abduction by terrorists in the country. Speaking yesterday in Addis Ababa, the president reassured Nigerians and the international community of his steadfast commitment to fighting insurgency. At a high-level dialogue tagged Stop the War on Children Affected by Armed Conflicts, dividend of silencing the guns, President Buhari said, quote, "Let me categorically reassure you of the steadfast commitment of the government of Nigeria to ensure the freedom of all kidnapped children from the shackles of Boko Haram. We will not relent until every child, boy or girl, every Nigerian adult in custody of Boko Haram is freed," end quote. The president urged African countries and stakeholders on the continent to work fervently towards strengthening the protection of children from the 6 grave violations during armed conflict. He also used the occasion to outline some concrete measures taken by Nigeria towards tackling the root causes of child soldiers and the misfortune of out-of-school children. Now, the Gombe state government has concluded plans to establish a 1,000-hectare industrial park. The industrial zone built to accommodate manufacturing and agro-allied plants would benefit from the recently completed 40-megawatt hydroelectricity dam just a few kilometers away. Lanre Adeyemi has details.
Dadinkowa, roughly interpreted as the joy of everyone in the Hausa language. With lush grainland, Dadinkowa in Yamatu Deba local government area is known for all-season farming. Establishing an industrial complex in this area, which would attract manufacturing and agro-allied industries to process the farm produce, is a game changer.
The people of Gombe, both young and old, and the women and men, are eager to see that we put up industries because we are yearning to develop and catch up with the rest of the country. In fact, the developed parts of the country, not just everywhere, the developed parts of the country.
As I'm talking to you, there are some people that have expressed their interest, only that we cannot say it here. But very soon you'll see how companies will spring up here. And the advantage of power that we have available is really one of the things that is attracting them to this place.
Beyond creating jobs and wealth, it also brings much needed hope to Nigeria's embattled northeast region. Gombe state government says it is committed to doing whatever it takes to complete the project.
For us to bring development here, we are ready to do. Within the means that we have, within the confines of our resources. But you know, we have the buy-in of the federal government. Already, this place is earmarked to be an export processing zone, which means whoever comes to produce anything here will export without hindrance and without unnecessary charges with regards to tax.
This ambitious project is built as a game changer to transform not just the economy of Gombe, but also of the 5 other states in the northeast region. It is located right at the border of Gombe, Borno and Yobe states and close to a brand new 40-megawatt power plant. If this project is successful and yields its full capacity, it would not only bring much needed succor to the northeast region, but also bring economic transformation to this area that has battled more than a decade-long insurgency. Lanre Adeyemi, TVC News, Gombe.
Well, that's it on the news update for this hour. Stay tuned for the weather update. And after that, sports with Mary.
Welcome to the kitchen right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Chef AY Subs. She's right here with us.
Ma'am.
And today she'll be making what she's known for, subs.
Yes, pretty much.
Okay, tell us about breakfast.
The last time I was here that I did subs, I think mostly egg-based subs. Like I was messing around with the whole French toast and eggs and subs and whatnot. But today I'm going with the meaty side of subs.
Okay.
So I don't think I've ever done you guys a meaty sub. So what I'm doing essentially is creating a sub. So if you remember what that is, it's a bread shaped like a submarine. Open up, cheesy, meats, veggies, what else? Sauce.
Okay.
Toasted.
Well, we should run through the ingredients. Okay, so this is the sauce.
Yes.
That's the cheese. Okay.
Yes. Onions. Sear pepper, just in case you want to make one spicy.
Okay.
Because I mean, there'll be no AY without spice, right? There you go. And then, I have a freshly cut cabbage.
Okay.
Green peppers, sweet corn. This is a mixture of cubed beef and cubed chicken. Okay. So they've just been boiled very, very plain with a bit of seasoning, and it's been pan fried, just slightly.
Okay.
And then we have a sausage that'll go in the grill. Okay. So the reason why I have a sausage is because I'm doing 3 different subs, as you can tell from the bread I have.
Okay.
So we're doing a breakfast sub.
Okay.
Which is where the eggs comes in.
Okay.
So that would have a really, really thick omelette.
Okay.
Then we're doing another sub with egg and sausage, and the third sub is the spicy one with the chicken and beef strips.
Okay, I can't wait to get started. However, we really need to take this break. Wake Up Nigeria continues shortly. We'll get everything prepped for you.
See you soon.
Welcome back. And now I have here Ifeyiwa Omesiete. Now, she is a certified nutritionist with a BSc in nutritional sciences from the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities, USA. Now, she consults at various hospitals for children of all ages, and she treats medical and dietary ailments. Through her social media platform, she educates and shares her personal experiences on how to live in the modern world while raising healthy and well-nourished children. Now, today we're going to be talking about something special, special children as well, the role of nutrition in children with developmental disorders. Now, lots of people don't, if you have healthy children that are fine, you probably don't think about this much. But for people who face this challenge, it can be pretty tough,
Yes.
not understanding. So first thing, I mean, when I saw this topic, I said to myself, I didn't know that children with developmental disorders required a special type of nutrition or diet. So talk to us about that.
So just like you mentioned, a lot of people don't think about that or don't consider it, but a lot of children who have special needs require special nutrition, just as, you know, the name implies. So it could be from more calories, you know, a diet that's more focused on more proteins, a diet that's more focused on more fats, dependent on the need of the child or the diagnosis, yes.
Yeah. So, so when you say developmental disorders, because sometimes it just looks like big English, how do you define that in a child?
So a developmental disorder basically means that if you look at the average development and milestones of a child, they're not meeting those targets. So it could be something as simple as speaking, it could be being able to concentrate at a particular age, it could even be being able to use their arms and legs, typically the way that a child should. Crawling, learning how to walk, sitting upright, holding their head. A lot of things that we take for granted. Some people actually are praying that their children will be able to attain these heights at whatever age they get to. So understanding that nutrition plays a major role, because when people think about nutrition, they just think about it in terms of, you know, what I eat and whether it's good for me or whether it's not good for me, healthy or unhealthy. But for these children, it's more about how much of the nutrients are they getting to be able to aid them get to those milestones at the times at which they get to.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about how one focuses on the child themselves. So if I'm a parent and I'm looking at a child and I'm saying, maybe I discover, or how do you discover that this child has developmental disorder, and then you'll be able to eventually do that connection between what the child needs in terms of diet for maybe whatever particular delay that there is in that
so sometimes this rubs people the wrong way, but I always like to say, make a decision early and come out of denial. In this part of the world, a lot of the struggles that we're facing, especially with these children, is the parents stay in denial or the caregivers stay in denial, believing that, oh, it's spiritual or this is not the case, they'll grow out of it. When you identify, like I mentioned, when you identify that a child hasn't attained a certain milestone within a certain age bracket, it's time to start getting professional help as a parent. Now, in getting the professional help, in health, it's a multidisciplinary approach. So no one person can solve all your issues. There's the nutritional aspect, there's the medical aspect, there's the psychological aspect. So getting the kind of help that you need for that child helps you to determine, okay, here's a connection, here is the relationship, here's what I need to do to help my child get to where they need to go.
So if we're going deeper and we're saying, okay, let's talk specifics.
Yeah.
A child hasn't been able to, is not speaking as and when due, for instance.
Yes.
You look at the child, this child should at least be saying a few words by now. What do you then do at that point? Do you think about maybe something to do with the brain or something to do with the mouth or whatever it is? What do you start thinking about in terms of nutrition?
Okay, so when you think about, for example, a child who's having speech delay, it's one of two things. Either there is a disconnect between the brain and the sensors that produce sound and communication, or there's an obstruction. If it's an obstruction, then either surgical or a simple procedure can help resolve that. But if it's a brain issue, then you begin to consider how much nutrients is that person getting to be able to translate to give the brain the development it needs. There's been a lot of research and studies that come out between the gut and the brain connection. So whatever you eat has to eventually produce nutrients that it's absorbed in the body and reaches all the organs of the body, and the brain is an organ. So if you don't give the body the right nutrients it needs, if you're not getting important elements in your food all the time, then that connection isn't made. And when it's not made on time, especially for children, so children have multiple synapses. So if you think about, let's say, a puzzle, for example, and in a puzzle you have 1,000 pieces. Now for a child who is growing, those puzzle sizes decrease over time.
Right.
Because you're building memory. So if you don't help that child build that memory, and the only way to do that is getting the nutrients you need. So a lot of our vitamins, a lot of our minerals serve as precursors for that connection to happen and that memory to be built.
So even in general, even for regular healthy children, this looks like it's something that's important.
Exactly.
Because it's not like we've seen in many reports and stats where they say that maybe children in particular areas in Africa,
yes,
because they don't have access to certain diets, it also delays their learning and other things like that.
Exactly.
So is that also the case?
Yes, that's also the case. So that's why in the beginning I mentioned that children who have special needs require special nutrition.
Right.
There's just, you're going a step higher. So doing the right thing in terms of nutrition for any child is paramount. But for these particular children, there's specific things that you need to focus on to be able to get them to attain those milestones that they need to get to.
Wow, that's amazing. I hope that someone is listening now and at least they're learning something, and it's going to be causing some changes in your home as well, and focusing on the kids and what they actually need. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
This morning. Now heading over to our first performance for this morning from Philadelphia Cass.
Thank you so much, Yomina. Our very first performer for this morning is Philadelphia Ekesina. She's a gospel music artist popularly known as Philadelphia Cass. Her songs are powerful to stir up a wellspring of love in our hearts as we maintain a heart of gratitude this season. So tell me, Philadelphia, I really love your name. Good to have you. And you look adorable.
Thank you so much.
So what are you performing for us this morning?
I'll be doing my song, He Came Through.
I like your voice. I can only imagine what we're going to hear this morning. Tell me about He Came Through.
He Came Through came from a place of depression.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and of course, giving thanks to God, thinking of where I am now and where He's brought me from. So it's all about gratitude to God Almighty.
Okay, and good thing you talked about depression. There are a lot of people who are going through depression, so I'm sure a lot of people are going to get strength from this song.
Course.
So I'm trusting that you will blow us away.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know it wasn't by my strength. So many times I should have given in. Your verse came to mighty at me. My strength was getting weak. But Jesus stepped in at the nick of time and gave me his hands. The devil meant to sit me like weight.
Welcome back. Now, there's so much activity happening in the studio today. Something smells good in the kitchen, but we have a very important topic we need to get to right now. We have Chidiebere Njoku here. He is the founder of the SEAL Project, a project aimed at raising socially and emotionally aware teens in Africa. On Parenting today, we'll be discussing self and social awareness with regard to emotional intelligence. Now, those are big, big words.
Good morning.
Hi, how's it going?
Very well, thank you.
So for when it comes to children, I feel sometimes like I have so many opinions on this. Bringing in emotional intelligence into parenting, sometimes I feel it's more for the parents than the kids. Do you agree?
I think it's for both of them.
Okay.
It's for the parents and it's for the kids as well. because I think we are constantly evolving, you know. So you're a parent, your goal as a parent is to be a better parent by raising kids who are socially, emotionally aware.
Okay.
Okay, so
beautiful.
yes.
Beautiful. Okay, I'm getting where you're going with that now. If you met a new set of parents and they came to your office and they asked for some advice, you know, how would you break it down to them?
First, I would want to understand their style of parenting.
Okay.
To know which style that they've adopted, you know, to raise their kids. You know, we have some, and to be very fair, all kinds of parenting work. Like all kinds of it would work, but it depends on what works for the child. So the onion is on you to find out what works for the particular child, because it should be tailored for a particular child, you know, however you want to administer it. So say you have the three types, the authoritative style of parenting, who says his word is final, the expectations are so high, there's no room for flexibility, there's no room for negotiations. I tell you this is what you're going to do, and you will do it. You want to be, you must be a medical doctor. I'll give you syringes. I'll give you, tools to do all of that. And then you have the permissive style of parenting.
Okay.
You have this parent who are so liberal, you know, who are very flexible, who have a two-way communication, you know, room for negotiations. The kid can say, no, on the contrary, I think I want this done, and then they will listen. The interesting part of this is that those parents are more likely to be friends with their children than the authoritative style of parenting.
Okay.
Then down the ladder, you would meet the uninvolved. Those ones are most likely to be self-absorbed. They end up working 6 to 10, trying to make the race so much fun, make money and all whatnot, and then forget what they were supposed to. Yeah.
So now, how does this affect these different styles of parenting? How do these styles affect how socially aware a child is? So, in my opinion, socializing a child has to do with the immediate environment.
Yeah.
And I did mention, well, before the break, or before we came in, I talked about the fact that there are some children who are given a proper educational or academic environment. Parents strive to pay for the best academic environment, but they don't really give much attention to the social environment that their children are in.
Yeah, so I think that our education here is not as holistic as it should be.
Okay.
So I think that there should be room for emotional and social learning in schools and in homes. So if a child is smart and he's so good in numeracy, you should also make room for value teaching, so that when this kid or this child goes to the seat of leadership, he goes with him, his bag of both academic qualifications and character learning. So I think we need to create a platform where values are taught. A platform where social emotional learning is a big deal. It should be a big deal. I think there's is that in Denmark or Norway, empathy is a must teach in a course in every school. So I think that we don't even have that. I never learned empathy growing up. I learned it as an adult. But I think that kids should understand what the place of empathy, because if you don't know it, then I don't think you would make a very good leader. You wouldn't understand other people's pains, and basically empathy is walking in other people's shoes. So if you're able to look through other people's lenses and walk through their shoes, then you're on your way to becoming a more humane individual.
I want to talk a bit about summer camps.
Oh, good.
So a lot of things that don't happen during the academic session could probably happen during summer or the major holiday periods. And then we have loads of people bringing up summer camps. But then there are the academic summer camps, and then there are the more social, fun,
the
behavioral ones. So there are a lot of parents that feel, you know what, I can't spend money on anything that's not maths and English. And there's some that feel, during the holidays, children should be allowed to play. So what's your opinion?
Okay, it would be better to have everything in the buffet, table, but can you afford it? And that's why the the government should intervene in. So this project I have run in schools. So I go and I teach these children with a whole team of psychologists and counselors. We teach them these values. But then it costs a whole lot to run this project, you know, because we are self-funding, you know, with no partnership of any kind. And you go to the schools and there's no room for these teachings to be done in school. So I think that if the government can actually look inwardly and find how they can incorporate or integrate, you know, or inject, you know, value teaching into the school curriculum or school syllabus, it will go a long way in enhancing this. Yeah. So those children, those parents who can afford the summer camps for, you know, would now have, you know, to smile, you know, because there's been some form of intervention, you know, from the government and other organizations.
I'm actually so glad to hear that you're working on something so important.
Oh, yeah.
I know that there are probably a lot of parents that are looking for what to do. They probably notice that their kids are not that socially aware. They notice that their children are withdrawn when they see people around them and they're not sure how to handle it. If you have questions on this, please send them to our social media pages. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC at TVC Connect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate this.
We still have quite a bit coming up on Wake Up Nigeria. It's almost time for us to begin the third hour.
All right. Here in the kitchen, Chef AY is about to put the sub together. As it is, in a few seconds, we should have our sub ready, of course.
Yes.
Okay, so here we go.
So what I'm doing is just laying it with cheese.
Okay.
So if you're someone that likes your bread really crispy, you can toast your bread before you start this process.
But it doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't, because you're still going to toast it anyway.
Okay.
But the actual, like the other brands that I know, they toast their breads first.
Okay.
But I do mine differently.
Okay.
Okay, so should we do the meat one first?
Okay, let's do the meat one first.
Okay, so all I'm essentially doing is layering the bread with lots of meat.
Okay.
Lots and lots of meat. And the beef is so tender, because obviously it's beef. You don't want to be struggling to, you know, pick out beef from the teeth when you're eating a sandwich. You know me now, come on. I have to tell you that.
And then, of course, you grilled the sausages.
Yes, I know. I never fry my sausages, yes. I always grill.
Okay.
I always grill.
Okay.
But yeah, as you can see, that's already coming along, looking like a good whole sandwich. But I've layered it with green pepper, cabbage. I'm gonna put a little bit of sweet corn, sprinkle some spice just for this.
That's the yaji.
Yeah, that's the yaji, exactly.
Pepper.
Sia pepper.
Okay.
Yeah. And then sweet corn. Now, I'm sure you look at this and you wonder how this is gonna close, right?
Yeah, I'm wondering.
It will close. It's very, very basic. And I'll put a sauce. But I don't know if you should put the sauce now because we're not toasting it yet, are we?
Okay.
Because it's just one. I just want to show them how to assemble one.
Okay.
So when I'm ready, I'll drizzle the sauce all over.
Okay.
Press it together like that.
Okay.
And then you see that the whole thing can close.
Aha. All right. Well, the best part of this is when the food is ready at the end of the show and you get to actually see what it looks like when it's ready. So you want to stick around for that.
Yes,
the second hour is over. 45 minutes more to go. Stay with us as Wake Up Nigeria.
Well, yes, welcome to the third hour of the show. And if you're just tuning in, you must have you must have heard of the love totems that we share on the show. Love totems.
Yeah,
and the first totem
is what?
Is her.
Oh.
The first love totem.
I'm a love totem now? Really? I am?
Yeah, because she's wearing 5 red dresses this week.
Red outfits. Red outfits.
Okay, red outfits.
I wore a red dress yesterday. I have another red dress.
Red dress on today.
And
it's going to be red all week for Titi.
Because this is the season of love. And
I should support you by painting my hair red or something.
No.
Reddening things up.
That would actually be very interesting. I think
look like
dedication.
Look like Tyler the Creator or something. Right?
I don't know what you're talking about. But the season of love is upon us, so that's why our opening lines are coated with love notes and symbols. And there's still loads to come as we count down to Valentine's Day. All those love totems we're talking about, they are important if you would like to be part of what we're doing this Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so what better time to find love than in the season of love? You know, Friday is Valentine's Day. Everybody's doing different things, buying different stuff. Don't buy roses in traffic. It's not gonna work.
Wow.
Like, don't do it.
Better than nothing though.
Roses in traffic, 500 naira.
How will she know? Or
The
how
ones
will
that
he
light
know?
up with a battery.
You know what? We're offering the chance for you to meet someone special through a blind date. You could just meet your soulmate. And of course,
What it entails is you send us a DM at the TVC Connect with your name, location, a photograph, really, really important photograph, and your age.
You also need to mention 3 love totems or symbols that we've shared on the show throughout this week and last week. And the entries close today.
Entries close today. And so basically why you're doing that is that you're gonna get a chance to meet someone for a blind date. And we're going to be doing all that, we're sifting through, making sure that, we get a good match for you. So don't be afraid. Send us, it's the 21st century. You can find love this way. And we're also going to be keeping an eye on things, making sure that you're secure if you're female.
And that you have a lot of fun. There's so much in this package you really wanted. My name is Titilayo Oyinson.
And I'm Yomi Oke. Get online right now. Do what we said you should do. And also stream with us at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Send in those comments as soon as you can. We would love to hear from you using our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
Now, if you haven't yet, you should also download our mobile app on the Android and iOS stores. And this app allows you to watch us from anywhere in the world.
So we did say there was quite a bit still to come. We have more music coming your way. The amiable gospel music minister, Israel Strong, is going to join us very soon.
Tying of headgear is big business in Nigeria because lots of women just will not learn.
Oh, wow, really,
So,
Yomi, that was such a shade.
It's
That is
big
so
business
unfair.
in Nigeria. So we're going to be, we'll try once again to teach you guys how to do trendy gele headgears.
For this thing
on the
Yomi
show.
just said, Yomi is going to be our model today. Yes. Yomi should model that.
I don't mind.
Then we're going to be joined by award-winning alternative soul singer, songwriter, and stylist, legendary Sunil. All right. Yes. Hopefully they have a yellow gele to match your tie.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going to wear for the rest of the show.
Imagine.
Luckily for you, Yomi, 2 hours are gone already.
Okay,
So
so
45 minutes.
the circumference of my head
Wow.
is almost 24 inches. So
Is
Yeah.
what?
So what you don't
So-
understand is many women actually tie gele with wigs, weave-ons,
Yeah.
attachments, braids and stuff.
Yeah.
So no matter the circumference of your head, there will be a gele that will fit you.
okay, we shall see. We shall see.
All right, so it's straight to you
We
for
have
the
to
news
take the
then.
news, and we're beginning from Addis Ababa, where President Muhammadu Buhari has given assurances that his government will secure the freedom of all children and other victims of abduction by terrorists in the country. Speaking to yesterday in Addis Ababa, the president reassured Nigerians and the international community of his steadfast commitment to fighting insurgency. At a high-level dialogue tagged "Stop the War on Children Affected by Armed Conflicts, Dividend of Silencing the Guns," President Buhari said, quote, "Let me categorically reassure you of the steadfast commitment of government to Nigeria, of Nigeria to ensure the freedom of all kidnapped children from the shackles of Boko Haram. We will not relent until every child, born boy or girl, and every adult in custody of Boko Haram is freed," end quote. The president urged African countries and stakeholders on the continent to work fervently towards strengthening the protection of children from the 6 grave violations during armed conflict. He also used the occasion to outline some concrete measures taken by Nigeria towards tackling the root causes of child soldiers and the misfortune of out-of-school children. Now we head over to Gombe State, where the government has concluded plans to establish a 1,000-hectare industrial park. The industrial zone, built to accommodate manufacturing and agro-allied plants, will benefit from the recently completed 40-megawatt hydroelectricity dam just a few kilometers away. With lush green land, Dadinkowa in Yamaltu Deba local government area is renowned for all-season farming. Establishing an industrial complex in this area will be a game changer, as this will attract manufacturing and agro-allied industries to process the farm produce. Now, beyond creating jobs and wealth, it will also bring much-needed hope to Nigeria's embattled northeast region. The Gombe State government says it is committed to doing whatever it takes to complete the project. Now, members of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, have pledged $1 billion to tackle terrorism and other security challenges in the sub-region and the Sahel. President Muhammadu Buhari revealed this during a high-level meeting of the African Union Peace and Security Council on the state of peace and security in Africa at the 33rd African Union AU Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. According to a statement by Garba Shehu, President Buhari commended the renewed vigor by ECOWAS members to mobilize their own resources to combat terrorism. The president also said it is regrettable that terrorism, violent extremism, and other forms of vicious conflicts had continued to cause mayhem and untold crisis in the continent. Now, the U.S. has charged 4 Chinese military officers over the huge cyber attack of credit rating giant Equifax. More than 147 million Americans were affected in 2017 when hackers stole sensitive personal data, including names and addresses. Some UK and Canadian customers were also affected. Announcing the indictments, Attorney General William Barr called the hack one of the largest data breaches in history. According to court documents, the 4 are allegedly members of the People's Liberation Army's 54th Research Institute, a component of the Chinese military. Well, that's it on the news update on Wake Up Nigeria for this morning. Let's begin. Now, you know, on Wake Up Nigeria, we'll bring you the very best music. And in Nokia for Israel Oyakilome, a.k.a. Israel Strong, is a gospel music artist from the Believers Love World. Now, his sound and style of songs makes him very unique in his quest to revolutionize gospel music. He abandoned dancing and other talents and then focused on music full time. And he released his first official single, Life of a Winner, in 2014. Now, 6 years later, he's doing something very special. He's going to be performing something that he's never performed before, and something special for us. Talk to us about this song. It's out today.
Yeah, it's out today.
Wow. Talk to us about it.
Well, I got the idea from my producer and Mayo. His name is Mayo.
Yeah.
And so we...
Oh, Mayo Music.
Yeah, Mayo Music.
Yeah.
So we thought of doing something that, you know, can cut across everybody. And, you know, looking at the way the world is, the news that come, you know, we just thought of like, for example, bad energy away, failure away.
I saw, when I heard the song, I was like, man, this thing is going to be a really,
you know,
I mean, you always, all the bad energy, all the bad news,
all the
keep
good
those ones far away from me.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything else come my way. I was like, yeah.
Is what anybody can sing. A market woman can sing. Someone working in the office can sing. Somebody a young guy can sing. A child can sing.
Yeah.
You know.
So you want everybody to sing along and just focus on the good things and push all the bad things away. You know. Very nice, very nice. So that song is out today, and you're hearing it for the first time on Wake Up Nigeria. Thank you so much, Israel Strong, for doing this song. And I think you're ready for us, right? Yeah, all right, so let's do it.
Speak life, speak the truth, let your words fly you away. Everybody say my way, my way. Showers of blessings in my way.
That is a fantastic performance. Like, we're all blown away here. And talking about being blown away, you know how you want to get a good look at what's happening on stage, but some geles will not allow you see road, as they say. Well, we have training geles to show you this morning. And to do so is Oluwaseunfunmi of Niyilewawa Beauty Home. Okay, so he's going to be showing us how to make some trendy gele styles. Great to have you here. Okay, so let's get started. Which one are you tying first? The damask?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you go about it?
I will.
Okay, so the first thing you need to do is spread it.
Yes, I will spread it like this.
Okay.
Then I will cut it into 7 to 13.
7 to 13.
Yes.
When you say 7 to
70-30.
70-30.
Yes.
Could you describe what that means?
This is 30.
Okay.
This is 70.
Okay.
Yes.
How do you get the measurement right?
No, I just. It's specific for you people to get it right.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
So 70-30. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. So you fold that way.
Yes, you will fold it. This is 2 plinting.
Okay.
Then you will fold another plinting.
Making it a
3,
third pleat.
Yes.
Okay.
You will fold it again.
Okay. So you just have to keep folding
Yes,
the pleats.
yes.
Okay.
Another one again.
Oh boy.
Then this one is 5 plinting, right?
5 pleats.
Yes.
So
yes,
it's 5
yes.
pleats gele you're
Yeah.
about to tie.
No.
Oh, you're still going to go more.
Yes,
Okay.
I still want to go more.
Okay.
Just for the start.
Okay.
Turn.
All right. So we're going to do multi-pleating.
Yeah.
You might want to turn this way so everybody can see what you're doing. Okay. So you can move here if that will help. Okay. Yeah. There you go. So now I can see that this side is longer than this side. Is it deliberate?
Yes.
Okay, so we can know our measurements right.
Yes.
So you start with 70-30.
Yes.
Then multi-pleating, the way you saw it happen, and then one side must be longer than the other. Okay. There we go. Okay. All right. So to what occasion can one wear this type of gele to?
You said what?
What occasion can I wear this type of gele
Like
to?
traditional occasion, like wedding,
Okay, go ahead.
engagement.
Okay.
Then you can wear it to church or mosque.
Okay. All right. So if you've ever wondered at the intricacies of tying a proper gele while going out, this is what it's all about. You see some people getting ready to go out and they spend like 45 minutes tying gele, even if they spend just 5 minutes getting ready. This is why it's pretty complicated. It makes it look easy because it's an expert at it, but for someone who is having to tie it on their head, it's always quite a lot of work. Okay, so the long hand is going to join now.
Yes.
Okay.
Leave that one.
Okay. So you're going to take it like that to tie.
Yes.
Aha, this is usually the tricky part because most of us tie these two together.
No.
Okay.
You just take the.
So you take the tip.
Yes.
Okay,
the
you know
tip.
what? Could you turn this way so everybody can see what I'm describing, what I'm talking about? Okay. So do it again. So you're going to take that tip. You're going to pick it like this to tie it. You see that? Yes. So that's it. So instead of taking this side to tie, which is what most of us do, what you need to do is hold it in the middle there, just at the edge to tie. Okay. I hope that doesn't hurt.
No.
Okay, thank goodness. Okay, so that's ready. Now, what other magic are you going to perform with it?
Cannot turn.
Okay. Aha. So what is this one called?
This one is side wave gele.
Side wave gele. Oh, so that's why one side is longer than the other.
Yeah.
Okay, so side wave gele is what we're showing you right now. Interesting. Okay. So this is what makes it the side wave. You see that? Let me see the front. Oh, looks nice. Fancy going to work in this. Like staying all day work. Work with this. But won't this give you a headache? Isn't it heavy?
No.
It's not heavy at all.
It's not heavy.
So people should be dressing like this to work sometimes. Okay.
You now
so
use your pin.
Okay, so this is where the
pin
pins
it down.
come in. Okay. Aha. See, there are different things you can use to make up this gele, right?
Yes.
Besides the damask, you can make use of ashoke, right?
Yes,
You can
and
also
sego.
make use of sego.
Yes,
It depends
and
on
Ankara
and
also.
Ankara as well. Depends on what you want to wear, okay? All right, so I know we'd have to finish this. You will see the end product on social media. Don't worry, just check out our pages, okay? At TVC Connect. That's where you will see the picture of the finished product. But you can have a good look already at what it's going to look like. We have to take this break. Of course, Wake Up Nigeria continues right after this as we have a conversation with our guest for today. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Now with us here we have award-winning alternative soul singer, songwriter, event host and stylist Sunny Eke. Now he's predominantly known as
Legendary Sunny. Now, he is the owner of the franchise The Vibe of Legendary Sunny, a concert that happens annually here in Nigeria, and he is about to tell us all about his journey. Welcome.
Welcome.
So you didn't tell me the part of your stylists. You didn't tell me that part.
Can't
It's
you
just
see how
he has
stylish
been
she
winning competitions back to back. I'm like, I the only singer in Nigeria.
Speaking of singing, you know, for some artists, music finds them.
Yeah.
Or how did music find you? Where were you and what were you
Okay, I
doing?
come from a family that loves music.
Okay.
And my father specifically. And you know, when you wake up to listening to American Top 100 blues every day.
Wow.
So there's no not loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's actually how it started for me.
Okay. So parents infused
Yeah.
the music into your,
A whole
into your
lot,
world.
actually. So when I'm not in the house, when I'm not at home, I miss those moments. And when I can't give them to myself, I have to learn the songs and then sing to myself.
Oh, yeah. That was growing up.
Yes, growing up.
Oh, okay, so now, coming to where you are now, from university, did you study music or you had a totally different career path?
I didn't study music, I studied culture and tourism.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Music was just a passion. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So at what point did you decide to turn it from a passion to a profession?
That was when I won Coke Studio West Africa 2012.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and it was like it kick-started my career as an artist because people were like, hey guy, you do this so well, why don't you take it up as a career? You could make money from it. I mean, I just got paid like 2 million from winning that contest.
Oh, boy.
And I didn't even have an account.
As in, you didn't what?
I didn't have an account.
You didn't even have an account.
So what, you kept the money under your
Goodness.
bed?
Under the bed, inside the wardrobe.
Did you really? Did you really do that?
Yeah, I did.
Oh wow.
He's kidding, obviously.
I'm serious.
No.
For real?
But so where did Legendary Sunny come from?
Okay, after I won the contest, the winner is supposed to do like a solo with
Okay.
Pata Ranking on stage.
Oh, okay.
So we had to perform Alubarika together.
Oh.
And while we were singing, because I was doing the song on high tenor, and it was like, guy, he had to stop the performance and like, what's your name again? I said, my name is Sonny. It's 200 levels too. He said, no, leave all those side. That from today, I should attach Legendary to my name. So he made the crowd echo
Legendary.
the Legendary Sonny.
And how did that make you feel?
My face was shaking.
Wow. So for those that don't know what a tenor is, can you give us a tenor note?
There has to be a soprano note for me to give the
Yeah,
tenor
okay.
note.
It's like a higher pitch, like the male higher octave, right? Okay, so now talking about you being an alternative artist, now what has been your low points considering before we started to accept alternative music? How was it for you with the struggle in the music industry?
Yeah, growing up to understand the music industry in Nigeria, a lot of persons gave me the vibe that alternative music, classic music is not widely accepted or appreciated in this part of the country. And I saw it like a very big, huge deterrent for someone who wanted to start up. So I decided to just do it as a passion, not as a career.
Oh, okay.
But as God may have it, I was winning contests along the way, so
And
I
keeping
kind
it
of
in
was
your-
on that
in your
part.
bedroom.
And if people are vibing to this, and then I
Yeah.
go for contests with the same
Sound.
other distinct sounds like dancehall and the rest, and I still come out on top. So are these not the same humans who will still appreciate the music? So two together, and I decided to just do what I love.
Okay. Yeah, we're seeing a video of you there.
Buy your fine picking, plenty money. Oh. You go buy your Range Rover. You gotta believe. You gotta believe. You gotta believe. Oh, one day.
I will buy my Range Rover. I will buy my Range Rover.
I love
Yeah,
the
that
look,
was
the
nice.
styling.
The styling.
Yeah.
Did you style yourself?
Of course.
Oh,
you
it was
did.
really nice. I
So
liked
the
it.
styling aspect, I feel like you've used the styling aspect to sort of find another source of income. Am I right?
Yes. Actually, I have this hat thing going on.
Okay.
Majority of my fans have not seen my hair before.
Oh.
Okay, so you're always wearing hats.
I'm
So when
always-
are you going to show us the hair?
Okay, so my dad also has a very huge influence in that aspect.
Okay.
You know, when you have to always talk in, you wear t-shirt, you talk in,
Yeah.
you wear short, you have to talk in,
Oh, wow.
and you have to keep your trousers on your stomach, and it just has to
Okay,
be like
sounds
that.
like a disciplinarian.
So I also grew up that way,
That way.
and
Alright.
I grew to love it actually because I realized that there's a way they address people who dress that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, they command a whole lot of respect, and I love to be respected, so I decided
Alright,
to
there we
dress in
go.
a very respectful way.
Okay. So what are you working on now?
Okay,
What's Legendary Sonny doing?
Okay, it's still not out of the box, but I'm working on a very huge collabo.
Oh, okay.
Yes, with one of the finest in Nigeria also, from the alternative side.
Oh, okay, okay.
I think I know who that is.
Who?
Is it with the initials JD? No?
Well, like I said, it's still in the box. So, but-
You know what I meant by
Yeah, of course I
yeah.
do.
Yeah, and I have huge hopes for it, and I hope it will blow into the market and make a difference.
Yeah.
Make sure you remember us in your kingdom when you reach there. Because by the time you blow now, we'll
While
be
you're
the ones
keeping
calling your
with the
manager.
Range Rover and
Yeah.
the 2 million in your wardrobe. I don't know which one I want.
That one has
That
burnt.
one-
All right. Well, we have some amazing stuff happening in the kitchen. And Chef AY has always blown our minds. And I know she's set to enter legendary status with what she's making today.
Yeah, and he said he likes food and he has a song called Foodie.
Foodie.
So let's see how much of a foodie you are as we give you breakfast.
Oh, wow.
All right, let's
Yes.
go. Let's go. Yeah, please join us. Okay, Chef
I'm dancing because it's AY sauce.
with the subs.
Literally, this is like one of the things I can do with my eyes
Okay,
closed.
this is subs, right?
Yeah, this is a
When your meat comes into the kitchen, it takes over.
I didn't take over anything.
You make it look like you're doing
I
everything.
didn't take over
That's
everything.
too, that's too much. And I told you, she's
little bit
silt,
too much.
you
Silt a
silt,
little bit.
and then dive.
And then
He
dive
actually
in.
Yeah,
cut
so
on
that you don't
like
have to press the bread. Exactly.
Like
So
that.
you're sawing it as opposed to
watch
cutting
it
meat.
There you go. There you go. Who's a pro in here? Like, I'm a pro.
All right, welcome to the kitchen.
Thank
Today's
you.
chef is Chef AY Subs.
Yeah.
This is what she's known for.
Yeah.
Subs. Like subs.
Literally, AY subs. Aisles subs.
I hope that
Yes,
mountain will
right
not
on
fall.
top.
Okay.
That's it on.
Okay, so-
amazing job.
All at
Okay.
once.
So, where are you going to start from? Let's see.
So the one at the bottom is.
I love your meme, man. And you just get into it. Like, the one at the bottom is the egg.
Yeah,
It's the
that's
egg, huh?
Yes.
Okay, you switch
The one
Yeah, I
in the middle?
switched it. The one in the middle is beef and chicken.
Yeah.
Okay. The one at the top?
Eggs and sausages.
sausages.
Wow.
So you can choose.
Woo!
Yeah.
Look at that.
I can
Ooh, that looks
choose.
Yes, you can choose.
You could
I
eat
have to
more.
choose.
High
Please,
five.
just
You want to take all of them
High
High
together?
five. Don't keep me hanging.
I don't
There
envy
you
you.
go.
You must have a death wish.
You know what? If you don't eat this, I'm going to help you.
Do I need this?
No,
No, you don't need the
you don't.
cutlery. Just take it as a sandwich. Like, yeah, that's it.
There you go. There you go.
That's the egg and sausage that you're having.
Egg and sausage.
Yes. The other one is chicken.
This one is
Are you sure you
chicken
don't want to
and
try the
beef.
chicken?
Just try one. Just
Anyone.
try
You guys are confusing this poor human. Let him eat.
There you go.
That's how I envy you right now.
See your nose. It's so in the food.
What do you think? Does she have legendary status?
Has she won the foodie
in the game of the South?
Nice.
Nice. That's so annoying. Finally.
Well done, well done. A big thank you to our friends over at Homely NG for the kitchen accessories.
A big shout out to everyone who's been part of the show today. We really appreciate you. See you on social media. And we'll be back with you again tomorrow morning from 6 a.m.
White subs, don't forget to follow her. She's awesome.
Don't forget.
Check her out on
Sub Queen.
Mike is not here to take this. Mike is not here to do this.
Oh, Mike is here. Yes.